accounts payable module. Now, first of all, before you go for accounts payable module, I'll just give you a quick briefing about back office. See, you guys are already using it. So you guys know, okay, how to log in and all these things. But normally what happened, no, before I start the training, I used to explain that. So you guys know, so I'll just quickly go through that. So you have, when you log into the application, it asks for the chain ID, property ID, user ID, and passwords, right? So chain ID, you have PHRM and property ID is PYRM. So take an example, if I'll put PHRM and if I'll put PYRM, and if I'll put my user ID and password, where it will take me? It will take me to the property. Right? Now you see it takes me to the property PYRM directly. But you have access for the chain level also. So that's why you are logging with PHRM. Instead, if I use here, instead of property ID also, if I'll use the chain ID there also, PHRM. Now what system will take me? System will take me to the chain level directly.
But
so
we cannot put both PYRM.
No, because see, the hierarchy is this. Under the PHRM, the group, you have a property. Because you can have multiple properties. So under the group, you can have second property, so you can log in with the second property. But suppose whoever is on a, you can say, higher level, a supervisor level, who should be having access to the masters, we give PHRM access also. Why? Because he should be able to create the masters. Right? But take an example under you. Now, suppose there's one more person you joined. You don't want to give him the access for the general cache you're taking that. You don't want him to give the access for the PHRM. So he will always log in with PHRM and PYRM. PHRM, if you log in, he will say that you don't have access. Right? So that is the concept. And if you are using with chain level, you don't have to go to the property level by logging out, logging in. Here you can directly jump from the chain to the property. Right? I'll start from the master side. First, I will explain you about the masters. When master will finish, then I'll show you what is the flow of AP normally, which everyone knows. Then that flow, how we are handling in the system, right? Masters, as I said, that always the master should be in PHR, which is the chain, right? I'll go to the accounting. Under accounting, I'll go to the accounts payable. Master side, there's only two options that you should refer: AP parameters and create, modify ATP. If any other thing is not there in your ID, it's not required because that's nothing relevant to here. The thing which is relevant is this and this. So you should have these two access. Number one, right? So AP parameters, what all the things that we have created in AP parameters, you say if AP parameter, I don't think so you have any bank created. So I think maybe initial time when you guys don't have any bank, so there's something called as default bank. But what we'll do, we'll create one bank and because see, the thing is, when I will show you the posting, when I'll show you how the payment will be made, I'll take you to my demo system because we'll do the posting and we'll see, right? But I don't know because this is a live system, so I don't want to touch anything with a you can say any dummy posting or anything. Here is a place we create all the bank. Okay, now I'm switching it to my demo system also because you don't have any bank created. After finishing the training, no, we'll create these banks also. Okay, I'll show you that how we do that. So I'm logging to my system.
से पहले बस
Hmm?
उसका तो खैर बैठना भी नहीं है मिस्टर वगी का
Mr. Wagi का क्या?
अभी तक
1 minute. I have closed my system. Just let me.
3 मिनट हो गया रिपोर्ट होगा ना तो फिर तो इसके बाद आएगा ना
One minute. My system, I stopped the instance because I have 3-4 instance running. So I don't start with this. SQL WebProl'lFIC. Okay.
आएगा जब ब्रेकफास्ट आउट होगा ना वही लेके हाँ वही से वही का तो बस सब पराठे पतीले बना देंगे
So this is your system, PYRM. I have taken you to my system, which is a demo system, right? Okay. First of all, we will take you to the AP parameters. These are the AP parameters that you do have. First, I'll explain you in my demo system what all the AP parameters. Then we'll quickly come and refer also here. So I'll go to accounting. Then I'll go to accounts payable, AP parameters. right? Now you see here AP parameters, we have something called as bank master. Acha, bank master is the only master which if you wish you can create at the property level. You know why? Because banks could be different for different properties, mostly, correct? But take an example, if I create any vendor, maybe that vendor is for both properties. So it should be created in the chain, right? So now you
make any 5-10 banks.
Yes. So take an example, you are dealing with 3 banks. So you should create all the 3 banks. Because when you're creating, you have to link the GL code of that bank as well. You already have the GL codes of your bank's accounts, right? How many bank account you have? 3. So those 3 banks should be created in the system as the bank. Okay. Now, so I'm giving you one example. Now you see here, I created a bank ID. I created ad, put the bank ID, description, and all these things. So how I created? I selected the bank ID. So I have to create Commercial Bank of Dubai. So what I did, I put a code called a CBD, and then I put the address details and all if required. Then this is the thing which is required, which is the GL code. So you see here, when you will create here your bank, so take an example, you have ADCB bank or whichever. So you will link that particular bank account here. This will be the GL code that you do have. You see here, you have Arab Kuwait Bank, you have Arab African Bank, and you have First Abu Dhabi. So take an example, I have to create First Abu Dhabi Bank. So maybe I'll make it as FAB, and then I'll put the details and I'll link this GL code.
This account number, 6 number needed or not?
I'll come to that also. Account number is not mandatory, but if you wish to put it, is good. So it means how much information you can put in the system, it is good. Check serial number is the running serial number. So as you said that it is starting time, so most of the things you guys are doing with cash.
Yes.
Take an example. After a month, you're saying, okay, sir, we are going to do everything from the bank now. I have this checkbook and I'm starting from the checkbook serial number so and so. So we'll set the serial number here. So take an example, you are going to start the serial number from 101. So this is the how many serial is already consumed. Suppose now you are starting with serial check number 101. So I'll put 100 is already consumed. Automatically 101, then 102, 103, 104. As soon as you start creating it, no, it will start. Yeah, I'm just explaining everything in English so that if you wanted to use this recording for someone else, you can hear that as well. Right. Apart from that, many other details, if you wish, you can put that. Even you see, when we created a bank and the payment. So we have a payment type. Always you must have seen the payment, it comes as check. So I can choose a cash bank also. Correct? That is one way. Second thing is, now suppose if you're creating as a check, so you can create as a check, then where that means it's a proper with the checkbook. Apart from that, you have one more option there called as bank transfer. So bank transfer, if you want, no, even we do have a template of bank transfer that when you do a bank transfer and print, no, system can print the bank, you can say a kind of voucher.
Bank name detail.
So you can see, you can even put your own format. What should be printed if it is a bank transfer. So it can be set and you can say, so each bank wise we can see that because each bank could have different bank, right? So this is how we create all the banks in the system. Number one, mode of payment, check and cash will still be there. Yeah. Apart from that, what all the other mode of payment you can create it up here. Now you see here I created a called as bank transfer. Maybe if there will be more, I can create more as well. So now what happens is bank transfer will be having their own reference. Here there is no check number concept, correct? Now reference is what? Reference is something you will get at that time when you do a bank transfer. You see there is a transfer reference number come. So whenever you do a bank transfer payment, no, system asks what is the reference number. So you can put there. Where it will be used, when you use that for a bank reconciliation, you can reconcile based on that because bank statement will be having that reference number. Right? Account groups, see, these are the things is already created. So you don't have to do it again. But the thing is, you should know what exactly it is. Account group means what are the different type of account that I do. I have beverage suppliers, I have food supplier, I have general supplier, I have tobacco supplier, I have maybe I'll say that okay, utility suppliers, whatever it will be. So if I'll create any of the supplier who is a general trading, maybe I'll create under a general supplier. So this is the type of the supplier, so type of the account that you wish to create. And creation is very easy. You just put the code, name. By default, it will be the permanent and account, and you can save. Here, these things, it is not required because you already have your own, you can say this control account for AP. You don't have a type-wise control account. Rest other is not required because these are the deduction types and all these things, transaction types, which is already created in the system, which is set by us. Because this is something that we do based on your request. right? So this things we don't give normally to the users because this works based on how the posting should happen, right? Your main concern is to see bank master, mode of payment, account group. When the account group created, then based on that, I can create different account called as create, modify AP account. Now, these are all the AP suppliers that I will create. Let me take this example only. So when I create, I will select what account group. Now, see, these are the same account group. Now, suppose you're creating a general supplier. So you'll select general. Maybe there could be some FNB only. So you select FNB type of suppliers. I don't know what all types has been created for you. Let us see. You have only general supplier, but FNB also you must be having. So maybe we can create one more called as FBP, called as FNB supplier, right? If you want to create now, you show. I'll show you also. I'll say add. I'll create one more FBP. I'll make this as food and beverage supplier. Okay.
After this creation and made it,
Hmm.
supplier.
Then you have to create.
Together,
Then you have to create suppliers under that. Abhi, you have created every supplier and a general supplier.
But it will show both together. General and FB will show in one line.
You can but you wish to see separate, you can see separate. That is why the category will be created. Now take an example. You wanted to see how much is outstanding for only FNB supplier. So you can choose the group and you can see it. So that was the reason of making it. Then we will create all the account codes under create, modify AP account. So now I'm in your system. Now see, these are the different type of suppliers you created.
Yeah, I made this all.
You made this all, right? So how you created, you just click on add, select the type, what is the account code? This is the code that you can give by your. I think it looks like you've given the initials and then 0102 like this only, right? And you see, I'll take anyone, which is a common used one in AP. किसको use कर रहा है?
Common use is first central.
First central. Maybe it is not. So if I'll put percentage and I'll say first, there's nothing called as percentage. What is the name? Is it? I understood what you did. I'm going to the property now. I think what you did, you created in property. In chain, you must have created some. Now you see, property also the same. But first central, I cannot see.
Yeah, but French, no.
But first central, is it there or no?
No, I think I didn't prepare.
Maybe you have not prepared. No worries. So take an example, French bakery. I'll just take this example. So you selected the type of supplier, the account ID. But as per me, if you don't know, this French bakery is actually it's FNB supplier.
Yes, FNB. Yes.
So you categorize everything in general, but actually it should be FNB supplier as per me.
Because there is no other stores. So that's why.
But you can create that. I'll note down so that we can check it later. Huh? So we created like this. We put the name, we put the address details. Here we are putting what is the registration number. This is the TRN number of the supplier. And if you wanted the TRN to be applied, VAT5 for the supplier, then you have to make VAT registered as ticked. I think you've ticked everything, right? Which is correct because everywhere you are charging the VAT. Apart from that, you must have seen here, there is something called as email ID. Even if you wish to put the email ID, you can put the email ID here also.
There is no email ID.
Yeah. If it is not, leave it.
Because I'm putting their email ID also.
So in case if it is email ID, no, you put it up here. Suppose I'll say that suhail@prologicfirst.a. Okay, why I'm asking you to update this detail is not now, but maybe in future you are going to use inventory module. Take an example. You create PO. So if you create PO, you have an option where the system can send the PO to this email ID. Right? But it can send only if you have these details here.
No, some of I put it email.
No worries. So whenever you get time, you can upload.
Once I put, I will save from.
Yes, you put that here and click on save button. That's it. Credit days. Credit days क्या होता है? Credit days means how much is the credit that you are giving it to the supplier. That means after how many days it will be qualified for making the payment.
30 days.
Yeah, maybe you're saying 30 days, which is very common here in UAE. Some suppliers, they say that 45 days. Okay. So you can put the days, number of days that will be. Okay, what is the use of making that, Because when you make credit days as 30 days, so suppose if you create a PJV on 1st of October, what system will do, PJV, while creating PJV, you have a due date, payment due date. Automatically, payment due date will be selected as 30th of October. So that when you go for a payment, no, you can say, show me what all is due now. So if it qualifies, it will show. That is the reason people put that. Check name. So whatever is the name will come as a check name. Correct? But sometimes it is happening that that supplier is saying, okay, please don't make check in company name. It will be in the owner name. So in that case, you can put owner name here. But sometimes, suppose that those are those kind of suppliers, they say that sometimes they say that company name, sometimes they say that owner name. Then you can mark that can user change the check name. If you tick this while making the payment, you will be having an option. You can change the name and you can make the check. Correct. These are the things only for the masters. Apart from that, there is only one more thing, attached document. Attached document, because now you will be having a trade license for this company. You will be having your contracts. So what you are doing, if they send you a mail, you have a PDF, you save in a folder in your laptop.
Yeah.
Okay, your laptop got crashed. Everything is gone. Correct? So what if I just go here, I select trade license, choose the file, upload that, done. It is there in the server. It's there in the cloud.
There is more one now.
You can upload multiple. Maybe you wanted to upload credit application also, this also, contract also. Anytime you just go to view, it will show you what all you uploaded. Anytime you can download from there.
Trade license and I upload here contract, it will not accept or no?
No, it will accept. You can, that's something you can upload multiple. Maybe I'm having trade license also, I'm having contract also. Yeah, so both you can upload.
And so what is only for AAP?
Okay, what is this for only for AP? I didn't tell you because I think mostly it's better you create everything for all. If you'll take only for AP, because what happened? No, this supplier, now suppose after a month you said, okay, so well, we are going to start the inventory. So when you create a supplier, automatically the supplier will get created for inventory also. By if they will purchase something, PO will be created, then only you will pay, right? Now, suppose there could be some of the suppliers which are not your inventory suppliers. That you can mark it as AP. I'll give an example. You're paying for the bills, Deva bill.
Yes.
Deva is not an inventory supplier. Right? I can, when I'll make Deva, I'll make only for AP. So that unnecessarily.
Maintenance contract.
Maintenance contract also you can make it for all. Why? Because inventory, you have one more good option called service level LPO also. But apart from those part, the example which I said that okay, like Deva and all these things, utility bills, make those as a only for.
No need to take for all.
You can take it for all, everything. Only whatever is not at all required for inventory, then only you should take this. Okay, understood? This is the master side. Now let us come to the functional side of this. Before coming to functional side, I will explain what is the flow of AP. AP starts from PJV. When I say that PJV means purchase, journal, voucher. You remember that you already created some, which we reversed that day, right? So you know how to create the PJV. But those PJVs, what you created is a manual PJV. We call it as a manual PJV. Yeah. That's why you created from make PJV. Manual PJV, why you created? Because you have not started the inventory module. So there are two ways to create PJV. Number one, make PJV. So that's why I'm writing this. I can maybe this notes I'll share with you also. It will be easy for you. So number one, but whatever is related to you, for you, if you feel that okay, fine in your own language, if you wish to write it. So make PJV, if I'll say make PJV means it's a manual PJV. Yeah. So there are, what I was telling is there are two ways I'm creating the PJV. One is make PJV, which is a manual way of creating the PJV. Second is in the inventory, when they will do a receiving. Suppose they created a PO, then they did a receiving. When they did a receiving, they do have an option confirm to AP. When they will say confirm to AP, automatically it comes to one screen. That screen is called as process receiving screen. And through process receiving, as soon as you process it, it will automatically create PJV. That is called as auto PJV. Okay. Now, when PJV is created, everything is done. Then that means it has been qualified for your statement of account. So whenever you go to statement of accounts, you can see that. Statement of account allows you to see what all has been posted, what all has been created and all these things. Yeah, you can make the statement, you can print the statement for the supplier, you can send it to them. Sometimes they say that, okay, can you please send me the statement of account, based on that I will pay. So you can pay you can show the statement of account, you can print it, you can download it, you can email. Once statement of account done, you send it to them, then they say that, okay, fine, I'm going to make the payment. Sorry, you are saying that, okay, you are going to make the payment for the supplier, because now based on that statement, whatever you have created and you referred with your accounts and all these things, and you said that, okay, sir, these are the things which is due, let me pay for them, right? What you'll do, then you'll go to the process payment option, where it will show you these PJVs, what you created, and you can click on, you can process the payment. So the next part is called as process payment. Right? In the process payment, no, there's an option where I can assign the check. In hotels, what they do, if they have checkbooks, what they do, they make the check and keep it ready. Right? They say that supplier, okay, fine, check is ready, you come tomorrow and collect it. Yes. That is called as assign. That is called as processing the payment. You have not given the payment. Yeah, you just processed it. When you want to give, then you will make it as a release the check. We call it as release payment. Release payment or check. When you release, that means this is a check I gave to the supplier. Suppose Nitinder is supplier, I gave it to him. That means from my books, it is gone, right? It is credited. That means my bank is credited. GL entry kya pass hogi? Again, when you make a PJV, it debits the expense, whichever expense you will select, and credit the supplier. Correct? When you make the payment, what it does, it debits the supplier and it credit your payment. So supplier ka that will get knocked off. Right? Very easy, very simple flow. There is another flow also, but let us finish this in the system. Then we'll come to the second. Right? Now we are in the system now. I'm going to my system because I don't want to create any PJV, anything in your system. Okay. Now you see, first, you see what I told, how to process the PJV. PJV is the first process always. So PJV, there are two ways you can process it. First, by creating a manual PJV by make PJV, and second is a process receiving. So manually, if you want to make PJV. Make PJV is what? This one, which you use this earlier. Second one is process receiving. That means from inventory, when they do a receiving, they say that confirm to AP, then it comes here in the process receiving, which you have not used, which you will be using only when you will start the inventory. Maybe when inventory will start, we'll explain that. Maybe at that time we can show you again. Maybe. Right? Understood? Now I'll show you first of all the manual, this receiving one, then I'll go to the manual one. Receiving inventory one you have not used. So I just wanted to show you how it will look like. Yeah, it's very straightforward. When you go to process receiving, it takes you to the screen where you can see all the pending receivings for which you have to process as a PJV. That means those invoices, and that is something, that's why only what is happening. We are asking the receiving clerk, or you can say your storekeeper, to confirm. Unless they not confirm, it will not come up here. Why to confirm? Because maybe they received, but they don't know whether that item is correct or no, whether it is good or no. If it is not good, maybe they'll return. So let them do it there itself. Yeah. So when everything is proper, they'll say that confirm, because now the payment will be done based on what exactly has been agreed and has been taken, right? So that's why you see, I can search by account ID, by the date between, or I can even choose show me only which is coming through purchase order, or show me only other receiving, or show me only service order. But if you blindly just search, it will search everything what I've spent. Jitna bhi aa raha hai, everything it is showing it. Let us take this example. Aldaya foodstuff. This is the receiving number of inventory. When you did a receiving, what is the invoice? Now this is a supplier invoice number. You must have seen this is in yellow. You know why it is in yellow? That means you have an option. If you wish, you can edit that. Because there
no
could
item name there.
no item name will not be there, because item name here you are processing the PJV again the receiving, but you wanted to see what item is there. You double click. If you wish to see detail, double click, you can see each and every item. Okay. If you wanted to see, then only you do that. Take an example. ये वाला देखते हैं, which is high 2600, which is the receiving number 3976, and the supplier invoice number is so and so. Double click when you check, and then you got to know. And now this is the inventory receiving. That means which is received by the storekeeper down. It is against a PO number 20. You see every details you are getting against a PO number 2051. Aldaya Food, yes, supplier.
Expiry date is there also.
If expiry is there, no, you can see the expiry date also. But these items I have not marked expiry. But if expiry will be there, no. If you click on here, click on expiry detail, it will show you when it is going to expire. So you see here items you got, what all the quantity, how much total value, every details you will get it from here.
You know, whenever I not click this confirm to AP, I cannot transfer to AP.
No, you cannot transfer.
Because I tried so many times.
Unless this is the first thing that you should do. And this is not your task. This is their task.
So once I do purchasing the reliever, I do 3. So I suppose click there, I update expire and this one.
But you have to put the confirm. Confirm means you are confirming that it is good to
Transfer
payment.
not coming. Some error showing one, then I go here.
Yeah, confirming means because when you confirm, then only system knows that yes, this is ready to make the payments. Who will tell that whether it is all the goods which purchased? Storekeepers, whoever received, right? So when they'll receive, that is why we used to give the option to him. When you finish, you find out everything is okay, then you confirm. When it is confirmed, that is the only it started showing up here. Okay. Now let us process this as a PJV and I'll show it to you. Okay, PJV doesn't mean that one PJV is for one invoice. One PJV can be with multiple invoices also. Maybe take an example.
This supplier also?
No, single supplier. Take an example. Now there are some suppliers who are giving daily basis. But you don't want to create PJV on a daily basis. Every day let them give. In the end of the week, maybe Friday, I will sit. I'll say that, okay, fine. How much for this supplier? These 7 invoices. Select all in one, make PJV. One PJV will get created, which has 7 invoices inside that. That also I'll explain you how to do that. I'll show you one. I'll show you one.
This I can do for AP also.
Yeah, this is for the AP only you're doing. This is you are processing and making a PJV against the receiving what they have done. Okay. So take an example. You selected this, right? So this is the amount that you've selected, and then you say next. I'm showing you an option only for 1-to-1. One invoice, one PJV. But on a daily basis, when you are doing and you are taking it all together, that also I will show you after this. So you say I selected this. This is the amount. I shown you also double click and verify. It is something which is going to so and so. So when you go to and here why it is editable, because there are chances because that store guy he may do mistake, because when they will give they will give the details to you. You saw 797971 79. This is wrong. So you can go there and can correct it. You can say that this is wrong. It should be this. So that's why we gave option to the person, because AP person will check all the things before he proceed. The store guy, we may have a maybe he just did a mistake. Yeah. But when it comes to AP, you can do verification. So I'll say next. So the invoice comes. Due date, you see due date, as I said, no, it will come automatically based on the credit days that you give. Even here also, if you wish, no, you can select this row and click on this, click row to edit. You can see also where it is going. It is going to the food inventory, debiting to the food inventory and debiting to the taxes or VAT. And what all the invoice. So here is the place.
Here I can see credit.
Credit is always supplier. See, in our system, no, see, just think about this, that you should know what is the way that our system works. Our system is a module-wise system. When it comes to GL means you know everything. You will tell what is debit, what is credit, what is debit, what is credit. But when it comes to the module-wise, system knows one entry is either supplier. If he'll post in AR, that second entry is one entry is always the AR control account. So automatic one entry. So that's why instead of asking always, no, we set that always. That one particular entry is that. So when it shows no debit to the this food inventory or something, whether credit, of course supplier, because it is against the suppliers, right? Supplier when it is supplier control account.
One time if you know, it's very easy.
Exactly.
Everything is automatically done.
So now you see I selected it. It is 1-to-1. I created that one invoice within PJV. I click on next. then it will open a screen that now I'm creating a PJV which contains only one invoice. Suppose if it is multiple, now everything it will show you. Which is the PJV name, PJV type, PJV date, PJV due date. If particulars you wish to add more, you can add it. Normally, when you are creating
description,
by default, description came as the receiving number and the date. But maybe I don't want to put this. Maybe I wanted to put that food purchase, daily or whatever it will be, weekly or whatever. Housekeeping.
You can put department also.
You remember that when you create a PJV, you put these details.
Yeah.
So system cannot pick every details because maybe this receiving is having 50 items. I cannot put everything. So we put the common one as a receiving number and all. But in case if you wish to put the details, you can put that.
What does this mean, VP?
VP is a type of PJV. By default, VP called as voucher payable. Yeah. Always PJV is having one type called as VP. When you're creating PJV, you just think that it is VP, which is voucher payable. So when you say yes to all, PJV got created and the PJV number created. Now you see, this is a PJV number 5001526.
If I want to search this PJV number.
If you wanted to search this PJV number, you can search by many ways. Take an example. Let me show you in statement first. You can search by many ways. I can even search in the make PJV also. I can even search in the statement of account also, anything. Okay. Now, what supplier was that? Al Diafa, right? I forgot, man.
Al Diafa.
Al Diafa. Otherwise, let me see. I put the voucher number only directly. System picks that.
And I can view and print out.
Yes, you see. Double click. Achha, when you're creating there, I can have an option. I can give an option to print there also to you. Okay. Now you see, this is the PJV. This is the invoice. If you wish to print the PJV from here. Yeah, this will be the PJV format. Of the PJV format that you also having, I'm not very much sure it was having the logos and all, but I added the logo last day. You remember that when Mr. IT manager has given me the logo, the correct.
I didn't receive whatever I post now.
Right, it is not there for you. I'm saying that we have added the logo. Okay, so format I will show you separately later. So this is how you can be able to do. You can be able to print. You can be able to use. So this is, and even the PJV created, still you wanted to see what is this receiving. Anytime, because it is something which is all interlinked. You see here, it's not only here. Even if it will go to the GL, you can be able to see the receiving. I will show you that also later. Till here you understood, right? Now this is the process receiving with the normal one. Process receiving can be with the multiple also. So let me take. You must have seen there's something in minus. You know why? Minus means these are the things which he returned. So when you do a return, it can be in minus as well. So whenever they return, it can be in minus also. Thank you. So let me show you for the multiple one. Suppose this, and this.
Water also.
So I can choose both the things in one. So now you see I'm making multiple in one. I'll go to the next. Here also 2 invoices will come. Here also I do have an option. I can see where it is going. If you wish to check it and all these things, you can verify. And when you go to the next, and that too, even we do have an option. Even let me select first. We do have an option even in case if any hotel asking, even we can give an option to edit this. But when you set once, there's no need to edit, right? So we will go to select the row. So I'll say that both the things I selected. Next. Now you see both invoices come. The total of that is 88.35. For which supplier? For Al Habtoor Food. Yes to all. PJV created. This also, if I wish to see these two PJVs, because this one PJV which is having 2 invoices, I'll go to the statement of account. I can search by either I can search by this, or maybe I don't know the PJV number. I know that it is Al Habtoor. So I search Al Habtoor. And I know that between these dates it is there. So you see everything is coming. This is the one which I posted just now, 88.35. Double click, you can see that PJV, where all it is going. And even whichever invoice you double click, you can see that receiving. Here you purchased onion white, but what about the other one? Other one you purchased banana. So this is how you can be able to create the PJV from inventory. Very simple, right? So we have seen how to create the PJV through the process receiving. Now we'll see how to make the manual PJV, which you have already done that earlier. So you will not take much time in collecting it. So make PJV is used to create the manual PJVs. So when you go to make PJV, we'll do this. So take an example, make PJV. Make PJV, first of all, before creating, if you wish to search for the pending PJVs, you can see it from here also. Right?
Okay, I click make.
Yeah, so I'm saying that in case I wish to search what all PJVs I made, I can do it from here. But suppose I want to create a new PJV, what I'll do, I'll click on add. एक एग्जांपल लो किसका बना है सपोज कोई भी सब है you have no I don't have I'm not creating in your system in your system we'll create in the end don't worry leave that
Just to see supplier we will just
no even that supplier will not be here no this is my system so I'll just pick anyone let us see no let us see suppose
so first I need to select the supplier
yes that against which supplier you are posting it so take an example okay I'm taking Deva only.
Okay,
very easy example.
Need to
so
select that.
first you choose which date is the PJV date because by default it is today's date.
Which invoice date?
This is the PJV date. Now take an example. If this PJV you are creating for one invoice, then the same invoice date you should put.
Okay.
Another example. Now this is for a bill. Suppose show me one invoice. I'll show you.
But if I want to post today, I cannot put today's date.
You can put today's date. Why not? Now you see. I don't know. This contains the invoice. Invoice is backside. Again. Oh, see, this is the invoice. Okay. Now this invoice date, if I'll see, this invoice date is 18th July. Correct?
Yes.
So this is July invoice. Total is how much? Around 186,000, something like that. Now this is the invoice for that particular one. Now what about this one? Is there another invoice also? So this is the second invoice. Any other invoice?
Two invoices.
Okay. Now take an example. You have two invoices. So you have two options. Either create separate PJV for separate invoice, number one, or you create only single PJV for single invoice. Okay. Take an example. I'll give a dummy date and all, and I'll show it to you. So take an example. Now suppose there is invoice 1 and there is invoice 2. Today is 14, right? Suppose invoice 1 is for the date of 5 November. Okay. And invoice 2 is date of 14 November. So I have two options. Either I create one PJV for the same date and link and add this invoice. And for this, I'll create a second PJV and I'll link for this particular date. Right? There's one option. Another way is suppose I don't want to create a separate PJV. I want to create one PJV should contain both. So I can have one more option. I can create only PJV 1, which is of date, whatever the higher date even you can take. Not only higher, maybe you wanted to take today's date, you can take today's date. Maybe this is of 13th. Take an example.
Yeah.
So if you want, you can make this PJV as 14th November, which contains invoice 1 and invoice 2 both. But when you put invoice, you put the correct invoice date.
If I want to put separate, better to put same invoice date.
Yes. That will also fine. Okay. So shall I give you example for single one or multiple? Single one. So take an example. Now today I'm creating. It's a single invoice, right? Selected. I say that okay, it's electricity bill. Maybe I'll say that accommodation. So here you see, I'm putting the particulars. These are the same particulars which come from the inventory as the automatic that receiving number and all, right?
So now I need to put this.
That means you are putting a description that why this bill is. Take an example. Okay. Take an example. This one.
Yeah.
You say that furniture for the lobby.
For which month? For which place?
Yeah. Or maybe I'll say that okay, furniture for the lobby. I'll not give each an item.